Hi again, everyone. Well, a month in between posts in this rapidly changing economic climate, far too long. It's crazy to try to keep up with, which I guess is why it's been so long and I didn't realize it. Where to begin? The Bear Stearns collapse, the emergency Fed meetings on Sundays. How many hundreds of billions of dollars now have been poured into this economy just since the beginning of 2008 by the Fed? The dollar keeps going down. Fuel costs continue to rise. Matter of fact, the airlines were grounding the other day, citing that very reason, rising fuel costs. Food costs continue to go up, and that brings me to the next investment recommendation in this rapidly changing economy. And let me give it some context before I go any further. When I say that I'm going to keep my eyes open and continue to investigate opportunities and options to share with you for the average ordinary situation. This is what I'm talking about. I live in a large Midwestern town. We used to be manufacturing based. No more. This is nothing new. This is like a lot of places in this country. So, 80,000 more jobs. The jobs report came out in March. 80,000 more in March jobs walked out the door. And that was the third straight month of job losses. Now, my previous career, I used to work with the lowest income population in my community. So I have seen the insides of people's financial situations for a very long time, and I've seen the impact firsthand for a very long time of what this actually does to families. And so when I say that I'm keeping my eyes open for things to share with you, I am talking about low risk, simple, win-win, realistic things to bring to you. Because you can't focus everywhere at once. And with everything that's coming to bear on families and the pressure that so many people are going to feel and are feeling, it's important to keep that perspective. So that's where my perspective is coming from. So it is a season I am well familiar with. I love it, springtime, and it's because I've gardened my whole adult life. I am giving you economic investment advice, telling you that this spring I think you should begin to experiment with planting a garden if you haven't already done so, if you don't know how to do this. Specifically, I'm trying something new, and that's what I want to share with you. I'm trying something new I found this year, and it's the Mittlighter method. Click on the more info to the side of the video and then click through the link to go ahead and get more information. The reason it appealed to me, this particular method, first of all, the foundation's mission, food for everyone, I love. It's an organic method of gardening. The results that people are reporting with this method are really exciting. And I say that because they're, results in poor soil, using less water, all kinds of problem situations. I live in an apartment in the middle of the city. I have only a small balcony to work with, and so I'm going to use the method and experiment with it this season doing that because of the high yields that the method reports in small spaces. When I'm talking about gardening, I mean specifically food crops. And that's requires, how is this, going to do anything for anybody financially? Well, when I'm looking at the rising food costs and I look at the overall picture, look, the New York Times reported last week 1 in 10 people in my state are on some form of food assistance or food stamps or other kinds of food program. Now, if that's the case, I know what that means to families because I saw it every day. So when that pressure comes to bear, and I know that, well, let's take a look at it like this. Probably 10 people is about the average person's, what would you call it, circle of influence, the people that you care about. If something impacts their life, however, directly or indirectly, it may impact yours. Meaning that, you love these people, you pitch in to help, or, you do what you can, try to share information or help them out. And so seeing those numbers means that this is already impacted, when I look at it that way, every single family that lives in my state. So everybody is already feeling this, and this is just the beginning. So I say start experimenting with a garden, because it's the season to begin planting and experimenting with that. You can't change your mind, down the road as the season gets too late. Now, do I know necessarily that this is going to be something that this summer you're going to have to rely on crops that you grow yourself? I don't know that necessarily. Look, if you don't use this for any other reason than maybe to get the family outside together and, exchange spiritual currency, investing in your family that way, I recommend that also. And I think that's a great investment, because I also know that when I'm taking a look at, we already have a 60% divorce rate in the United States. And money is the number one reason cited for relationships breaking up. So if we've got this coming economic pressure coming to bear on families already, where 1 in 10 are on some form of food stamps or program, we've got this unbelievable rate of foreclosures that continues to climb. Jobs are walking out the door, and people aren't staying together financially. What kind of economic pressure is that realistically putting on families? And so when I offer the financial recommendation to begin a garden, I hope you can understand. You can call me crazy or not take the recommendation and go on your way, but I at least wanted to offer the perspective behind the recommendation and why I'm experimenting with it myself. So I wanted to share that with you and encourage you, like I said, to grow a garden. Start planting one this season. It could definitely help your family or a family around you in ways that you might never have imagined before. Until next time.